Hey guys, welcome to episode 2 of our HTML tutorials. Today we're going to cover things in the header that you can edit. This includes style sheets. We're going to cover a few meta tags and how to include scripts like JavaScript in your HTML file. Okay, let's get started by opening the file we made in the last video. That, if you remember correctly, that covers the pretty much just the bare basics of any HTML file. And to get started, I'm gonna show you guys how to include a style sheet without linking it to an external style sheet. So this is probably the easiest way. All you have to do is type style, start the style tag and end it, and include whatever CSS you want. So this way I could go change the properties for the H1 tag and make it super big. That's what I'll do. Okay, let's save and open our file in Firefox. And as you can see, compared to before, the title is just absolutely huge. That's the easiest way to include CSS in your file. But normally, if you're going to have a lot of CSS, if you're pretty much doing custom styles for every element on your site, you're going to want to use an external style sheet, which is also really easy to link to. Basically, you're going to want to open a link tag and then type rel, then type in = and open a quote, type style sheet, and then another quotation mark. Next, type, and this is going to be text/CSS. CSS. And the last thing to do is to actually link to the file. And we'll make the file in a second, but for now we're just going to name it test.css. And then in the tag. And for this kind of thing, you don't really need to, do a closing tag with the /, because all the information is contained in this one line. There's no, unlike the body tag where you have separate tags in it, everything is contained in that one line in these functions. Okay, so if we save that and make us a new file, we'll do the same thing. See, if we save the HTML file, if we refresh it, it's going to go back to how it was before we added that custom CSS. And now in our external CSS file, we'll type the same thing. And then we'll save it as the same thing that you link to, test.css. And then if we go back to Firefox and refresh it, see, it goes back to how we had it if we just had it in line on the document. But this way it's a lot easier if you have a lot of CSS you have to cover. So that covers style sheets. Let's move on to meta tags. Meta tags can be used to edit different information inside the document, such as the description of the page, keywords, the author, and say if you need to like have the page refresh in a certain amount of time. These are all examples of things that can be done with the meta tag. We'll only cover a few. We'll cover the description and the refresh because most are the same. You type them in the same as the description, but you just change the name of it to whatever you need it to be. So to get started, just open the tag, type in meta, and do it the same way as before. You don't have to start a whole new tag. You just type name =, and then a quotation mark, then whatever one you need. Like we're gonna do description, then another quotation mark, then you're gonna type content and whatever you want the description to be. So I'll type, this is a test meta tag, and then just another quotation mark, and close the tag. Let's save that, and we'll go back to Firefox and refresh. And you're gonna not the page source. You need to view page info, and you can see where it says description, and then the content is this is a test meta tag. So all you did was you just updated that information, and usually sites like Google use this to help in the indexing process of your page. That helps with that, so they know how to correctly index it to what material. Okay. Now let's refresh the page. To do this, start typing meta again, just like before. And then this time you're going to want to type HTTP and then EQUIV, stands for equivalent. Then put your =, quotation mark, and type refresh. And then content, =, quotation mark, and how many seconds you want it to last. So for this we'll do 5 seconds. And then close it with a / and then the greater than sign. Okay. Save it and go to Firefox and refresh. And you'll see in 5 seconds it'll automatically update the page. I don't know of a really good way of showing this to you guys, unless we just will make the font size a little bit smaller. Go down to 38. Save that, and then see how it automatically updated after 5 seconds. It just refreshed the page instead of making us refresh it for us. This is you know that kind of, whenever I use it in programming, is normally once I get into PHP, but we're not going to cover PHP in these tutorials because that's pretty advanced programming. So it can also be a good tool to use if in development. So say you have it refreshing every 1 second, so you don't have to refresh. You can just go to the page and see your changes automatically there. Okay, the only thing we need to cover now is JavaScript. And that is as easy as including a CSS file. You do script type =, quotation mark, text/JavaScript. And then if you need to include one, an external file, you do it the same way. You just, the href equals quotation mark wherever the external file is located. I don't know what I'm doing. It's as easy as that. If you have internal, just different JavaScript code that you just want in line with the rest of the HTML document, instead of doing the href, just keep the types equals text/JavaScript, and then put it in between that tag and a closing tag of skip, like this. Like any other tag you would. Just like that. And that's pretty much it for this episode, guys. We'll have another episode out in a few days that's going to cover we're going to start on body tags. And that's going to cover a lot. So it'll be a couple episodes long. But after that, we'll start developing a test site. And I'll start showing you guys how to style the different stuff with CSS, and we'll do some basic level JavaScript using like jQuery and Ajax. So it'll be pretty fun in the upcoming videos, so stay tuned, and we'll see you guys next time. Don't forget to like, favorite, and subscribe.